your blanket in a way that you can slide your feet. And so start with knees bent, feet on the ground. Your hands, if they can, are grabbing each other around the knees. And go ahead and look up and find a spot on the ceiling. And then bring your head to neutral. Put your hands behind the back, fingers are pointed away. And slide one foot, maybe 6 to 8 inches forward. Come up onto the heel. Curl the toes forward. Release the toes. Flatten that foot. Slide that foot back so that it's even with the other foot. And lift the toes. Do that 2 more times. Slide forward, up on heel, curl toes, release toes, flatten foot, slide back, lift toes. Last time on this foot, slide foot forward, no more than 8 inches. Come up onto the heel, allow the toes to curl forward toward the ground. Release the toes, flatten the foot, slide the foot back, lift those toes, and flutter the toes a little bit. Release arms from behind back, reach around, grabbing your hands. Look up and see if you've released the back of the neck. This is myofascial release from the bottom of the feet up the superficial back line all the way up to the base of the neck. Let's do the other leg. Hands behind back, fingers pointed away. Slide foot forward 6 to 8 inches, up on heel. Toes curl down. Release toes. Flatten foot. Slide foot back. Lift toes. 2 more times. Forward, up on heel. Curl the toes. Let the toes go. Flatten the foot. Slide that foot back even with the other foot and lift the toes. Last time like this. Slide foot forward, up on heel, toes curl toward ground. Let toes go, flatten the foot, slide it back, flutter these toes, and then flutter both sets of toes as if you're playing the piano. Release your hands from behind the back, bring them around the legs again. Look up and see if your neck has more range of motion and it feels more comfortable. We have released this whole area. Let's go ahead and check back in one more time and just see how we're feeling. The Soma scan is as important as the somatic work we do in between. So take the time, become present to whatever you're experiencing in your body at this moment. Check in. Let's make our way to hands and knees. If you need some more cushioning, add that. And we'll start to maneuver our spine a little bit more. First, just move the whole body back and forth a few times without a lot of undulation in the spine. So this is really just lengthening the muscles of the back body, particularly toward the lower back. Use your breath, coordinate breath with movement. All right, so now we'll do the arch and curl and flatten, which is the gentle somatic version of cat-cow, focusing on one part of the spine at the time. So let's start, since we've been working our upper body, doing the arch, flatten, and curl from the upper part. So in order to accomplish this, you need to draw the shoulder blades toward each other and drop the chin on the in-breath. And then soften in the middle. And then draw shoulder blades up toward ears and lift chin on the exhale. And then soften back to neutral. So do this one 2 more times. So you're kind of dropping the chest, feeling the engagement of the back body between the shoulder blades, and then softening. The softening is as important as the engagement. And then you're drawing shoulders up toward ears, lifting chin, and releasing. So now let's move down the body and focus more in the center of the spine. So your attention is right here. So when you drop the belly, feel these muscles engage, lower ribs, waist, and then come through neutral, and then draw the belly in firmly, feel the whole arch up here, and back to neutral. Do that 2 more times. So breaking down a pose into its component parts allows us to really notice what our tendencies are. We tend to always do poses like cat-cow in the same way. So are we really working the entire spine most of the time? Probably not. You have what's known as pivot points, and you end up working them, overworking them, and underworking other parts of the spine. Okay, come back to neutral. Last piece we're going to do separately is the lower spine. And so be careful that you don't overdo this, because if you already have like a big curve down here, you don't want to over exaggerate. But just feel the effort there. And then come through neutral, and then feel the effort up here through neutral. After the third time, we're going to try to put this all together and see if you can evenly work all areas of your spine and not just default to your pivot point. So when you are engaging the back body, feel all the muscles all along the back body engage, and then drop the chin. Come through neutral, release it all. Engaging the front body from the front of the shoulders all the way through the pubic bone, and then slightly lift the head. And then release. The release is as important. Are you really releasing? Let's do this maybe 2 more times. Feel the engagement of back body, chin drops. Soften to the middle. Engagement of front body, chin lifts. Soften to the middle. Now widen the knees. We're going to go into our first held pose, first yin pose today. Widen the knees, but before you go back into a child's pose, tighten all the muscles just for a minute. Get everything tightened, not even a minute, a few seconds. And then your only job is to actively, purposely, mindfully release one muscle at a time. Release, 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 release. Keep releasing until nothing is feeling tense anymore. There's not one area of tension. Your only job here is to breathe and pay attention to your breath and to this softness in your body being supported by the ground, by the earth. Just stay here softly. So in the held yin poses, you are given a great opportunity to practice mindfulness, to just notice. First, notice any physical sensations. Then you can notice your breath. Notice where you're feeling the breath. And then lastly, you can notice any thoughts or emotions that come into view. You can notice and name them. So when you're ready, you'll gently remove any props